Excellent.
We just had lunch. I think I should explain to the carpoolers.
Oh, yes.
We've had lunch with our executive producer, I believe.
Indeed, Charles Armitage, the one and only.
In the beautiful surroundings of the Shepperton restaurant. I mean, you can't really call it a canteen, but it's a restaurant.
It is a restaurant. Yeah, it's not the canteen. It's not a... there's no techies there. There's no crews, no armies of film crews there looking for their bacon wraps.
I was expecting Russell Crowe to walk in any minute, but
that's what you expected. But
got a sneaking suspicion he probably doesn't frequent the Shepperton restaurant. I don't know if he's here now, is he? Because they're shooting, what's it called, Nottingham?
That's right. No, I'm not sure.
I know. What's that there, Chris? We're going to do a bit of car spotting. Is that an Aston Martin?
That is a Jaguar.
That's a Jaguar. You see, now, there you go. I saw it from the side. Thought it was an Aston.
Do you know, it's a new one, so I don't really give it a monkey's squiddle.
So you're not impressed with a new model? We shouldn't get onto cars straight away. We should try and veer around it.
No, I'm not overly into new cars.
Right.
No, well, obviously I'm taking in my surroundings.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking this is clearly a veteran of many carpools.
It has done the odd carpool. It's also shifted a lot of muddy children.
Well, I'm thinking, where am I putting my fingers here?
Oh, yes, you need to be careful. It could be sweets or anything.
It could be sweet. When I play football for the dad's team, the local dad's team, and of course, afterwards we go to the pub, and they have to go outside to have their fags, and they come back into the pub,
absolutely
and the pub
stinking.
smells of smoke.
Yeah. No, it's shocking. You're absolutely right. No, in the very long periods, I would like to point out when I don't smoke, which is most of the time, in fact, and then someone has comes to our house and has a cigarette out the back, and then comes back in, I go, hang on, do I ever think that when I've had a cigarette, the children don't know? Yes, they're 100 feet away from you, you can still smell them, and it is very
It's
strong.
like at school, these sort of, fifth formers would sort of come back, into class, between periods, they come into the next class, chewing gum, absolutely reeking of that potpourri of Wrigley's spearmint and
number 6.
Players number 6. And the teacher would just look to the heavens and think, who are you fooling? It was just absurd.
But no, look at that though, Chris. 60 miles, 63.5 miles. So I've used just over a gallon of petrol to do 60 miles.
Just let me scrape off the 5 inches of dust. Accumulated gunk on the screen of this
not exactly spotless
excuse for a car. And what do you want me to look at?
63.5 miles to the gallon.
Okay, I'll have the cleaning bill later for that. 63.5 mpg, fine.
Yeah.
What are you trying to tell me?
Well, that's quite good, for quite a large saloon car that could carry 5 people. And if it does carry 5 people, it doesn't quite do 63.5 miles. I'll admit that.
Do you know, I spoke to some people about, not that I've done any pre-research for about the Prius, I wouldn't waste my energy, but I did, in an idle conversation with a misguided taxi firm who, for some reason, traded in their Mercedes and bought a fleet of Prii.
Priapus.
And he said that on average 49. On average 49, mate.
Right.
So they're not as good as everyone says they are, but they're not too bad. But I'd still rather do 40,
right.
In a decent car than 49, just because we look as if we're doing the planet a lot.
Right, yeah. No, that side of it, I absolutely, totally am in agreement with you. The notion of greenness. And when I see them in London, these cars in London with green flowers painted on them,
you want to be sick, don't you?
Yeah, it's profoundly offensive. It's just stupid, and it's also stupid from the point of view of Toyota, who also have never said that. Yeah, I've now checked just to be sure. They've never said it's a green car. It's a car. You can't have a green car.
Well, you can't really. I mean, look at all the CO2 that's gone into making it for a start. I did. Strangely enough, have a little drive in a G-Whiz the other day.
Right.
As part of this show called Chris Barrie's Age and Machine at the moment that I'm doing, which involves the 1980s, and of course we had to do the C5, which I can report to you now is as disappointingly
such a tragic piece of
even the one on the chute, I'm afraid, was.
And was it an operating one? Because the one I had went 4 feet before it ran out of battery, and then I had to pedal it.
He was saying 15 miles the batteries will last for, and honestly, within about 300 yards our battery. And this is sort of basically a grown-up C5, really. No, I'm doing it down, really. Do you know, and the thing about the G-Whiz, which got me, which the first thing I thought about is it's actually so quiet that in an urban situation it actually could be quite dangerous.
Well, I don't know. That argument is very popular.
No, that is, folks. By the way, if someone says to you that argument is very popular, it means that argument is shite. And I haven't fully thought it. I probably haven't, but I'm not sure. Reaction.
Yeah, because most modern cars are very, very quiet. The engines are very quiet. You can barely hear it. You know, if you're standing next to a new car that's ticking over, it's not like dun, 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 dun. You know, you really can't. You can hardly hear it. They're so well silenced. So I'm not sure.
If I turn up at my TR2,
they probably would know you're coming.
Yeah, they'll know I'm coming.
Have you got a TR2?
I have. Yeah.
Have you? Wow.
But I'm noticing that sometimes we're moving at slow speeds. There's nothing, and then it does kick in.
I can do it now. So that's all electric now. So it'll go up to 30 basically.
Okay.
If that person doesn't pull across the road and I have to suddenly stop. So now it's 26, 27, 28, 29. So there it goes beep, 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 and that's the petrol engine kicking in.
And you can even hear it.
You can hear it. Oh yeah, no, there is. But what's the first time you drove? You know,
that was the most exciting bit of the drive so far. It lasted for 8 seconds.
But there's such a delay. Like if you're overtaking, that's particularly around where I live, in the rural area where there's tractors, and you're behind a tractor doing 15, and you can see long, clear, straight road. You know the road well. Nothing coming the other way. I will overtake now in a safe and sensible way, and I'll indicate and make sure no one's coming behind. You know, really, really sensible.
Right.
You do that, and then you floor it, push your foot hard down. Nothing happens. Because like now, I'll put my foot down now. So there's quite a long delay.
Yeah.
And the car I drove before, there was, you know, you had to drive with the hairs on your toe because it was so sudden. As soon as you touched it, boom,
yes, sink back.
So the difference was rather dramatic.
So has anyone ever done any long-term test reports on these? In terms of reliability and all that?
I can do 2 years and 84,708 miles.
Oh, that's okay.
And nothing has ever remotely gone even slightly wrong. I mean, even like at the moment, not even a light has gone off. I've had punctures. That's the only thing I've had. And that's due to my son building skateboard ramps in the drive and leaving huge nails. Not small nails, big huge nails. I got a nail like that stuck in the tyre, like a bent 6-inch nail. So
that's quite a sort of idiot-proof diagram, that of the car.
Yeah, it is. It's got 4 wheels.
And they're all going round.
They go round.
And then you've got battery,
and engine. It says engine next to it.
Electric motor. Sure. Yeah, it's all that all those little arrows there. I mean, it really takes us on the most glorious routes, Mr. Llewellyn. So this screen, I'm intrigued by this. Does this become a sat nav if you want? Or,
it's got that there. There's a sat nav there. It'll take a little while, but you've got to read that obviously while you're driving, which is read the safety instructions, and then you can make it that it goes down to all those things. That works quite well. I'll defend that because I've had another built-in sat nav in a Volkswagen. She was just an intolerant, probably a member of the Green Party in Germany. You know, but very intolerant. So very little patience. Turn left here. Do a U-turn now. You know, I can't. I'm sorry.
But there is a mute button.
You can turn off, and you can turn this one off too, yeah. But she's very gentle, and when you make a mistake, she then recalculates. It doesn't kind of put you down. The other woman she belittled me. I was quite unhappy.
I've just got a new sat nav. I do like to mix in a little bit of new technology.
Wow, you got a sat
with the old. But the at night, of course, being a 26-year-old Jag, at night it's the brightest thing on the dashboard.
Yes,
you know what I mean? All the lights are fairly
low,
low on those. Yeah. What does B mean on that excuse for a gear stick? I presume that is the gear stick.
That is a gear stick. It's for a man who's not threatened by his masculinity.
Like a sort of failed design for a shaving plug. So if you hit your knee against it too hard, it would sort of fall off.
It would just drop off or put you into reverse.
Well, that's quite cleverly designed. It's not.
Yeah, it doesn't actually do anything. I mean,
that's the handbrake, right?
No, that's engine braking. I can't really demonstrate that. But so if you're going down a hill, you don't have to use the foot brake. You can put it in engine, and it actually then
saves wear on your.
Well, I guess so, and it locks up the drivetrain in some way that your momentum spins the petrol engine, but with all the valves open. So it's not
fun with it.
Not really.
Not really. Okay.
I don't know that I've ever had anything you can classify as fun.
Fun with it. Okay.
No.
That is the lament of the world we live in. All the old bits.
Yeah.
Will always remain the size they are, and all the new horrible bits will just get bigger and more horrible.
Yeah. Do you think so? Do you feel that? I mean, is there any modern architecture, for instance, that you admire or think is good?
One or two isolated things, but in general, no.
Right.
In general, you look at that building, and no one can really ever say that is an unattractive building. Whereas that one,
that is,
and that lot over there,
yeah, that is,
which I know no one can see.
No, but that is pig ugly.
Believe me. But that's sort of a red brick kind of Victorian type thing.
With certain proportions in. It is. I mean, that's the thing I find is difficult. Is the kind of human scale and then the bravery of modern brutalism.
And we all know that people want to, leave their stamp, their generation's stamp on the world.
But the 70s stamp was a bit of a dog poo, wasn't it?
Yeah, 60s and 70s, those high rises and things, not good. But we should always all accept the fact that for nearly half a century now we've been saying that actually the Victorians, Edwardians, Georgians kind of got it right. So let's kind of just maybe stick to that.
Yeah.
But I get shot down in flames by millions of people saying that. Probably lots of people will be twittering. What's it called?
Twittering. Well, they'll be tweeting about it.
Tweeting you and twatting me.
There'll be some architectural tweeters who'll go, Chris Barrie just doesn't know what he's talking about with modern architecture or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. Who knows?
Well, we've probably had that before.
Oh dear! Now I'm interestingly going down.
Right, you are.
I wonder if we could actually get through to. We could be going into one of the most dangerous housing estates in Britain. I don't think we are, though. It looks very, very respectable.
We've actually hit what I would call sort of model 1950s sort of Britain here.
It is, isn't it?
Quite an old road, this old dual carriageway.
Feltham.
With those houses that they never thought in 21st century
actually quite big.
Carry as much traffic as they now do.
But those are quite big places, aren't they? Quite big houses. I think we should go to Feltham.
Should we go to Feltham?
The centre of, it's a big young offenders prison there, isn't it? Feltham.
There.
Which I'm very glad to say I managed to get through my teenage years without visiting.
Feltham too, did you? Okay.
Yes.
I'm glad as well, actually.
I think we all should be.
I don't think I'd want to share a car, even if it's a Toyota.
No.
If you were
I did 10 years in film.
Man with a murky past.
Oh, goodness. Working with you was an absolute bloody joy. It really was. You were such a brilliant performer to work with.
Feel the same way about your good self, sir.
I can't really. I find it hard to believe.
And
hard to deal with it.
Your entire audience either switch off or vomit violently at their screens.
At the mutual lovingness.
No more of that.
Okay, finish that.
It was great fun. It was great fun to be back. And the thing that really staggers me is that it was 10 years since we last did it in a set, in a scripted form like that.
Yeah.
And how quickly it just all seemed very normal.
Absolutely.
To do it again. It seemed like 10 weeks, not 10 years.
But also, I think, if anything, we all got on better this time than I always think we always got on well. Don't think there was
I think.
But actually, there was a bit more. Everyone was more relaxed about their lives and their careers and their jobs and their everything. It just felt like
more
much
relaxed
more
life.
Yeah. Which is an interesting. Which I hadn't considered it at all before we started. But
Well, I think when we all started off. Well, obviously for Craig, Danny, and myself, we were in our 20s.
Yeah.
And you have certain requirements as a man in your 20s. You're getting ahead on the old greasy pole of your career and all that sort of thing. And then in your 30s, you're sort of, thinking about, settling down, all that sort of stuff. And you just get more mellow. And then now we're in our 40s, dare one say.
There's no lying.
There's no lying.
Well into our 50s.
Well, I'm not far off that 50, so let's just say we're all about 50. Although Craig would probably hate that.
Yeah, no.
A few years off there.
Don't count me in, I'm 28.
Hey. But we're Dad's army in space, and we know. Yeah. We really are Dad's army.
We are. Yeah. There's no denying it. Yes.
But I think that you're right. We've mellowed and we're quite content, and we've got nothing to gripe at. But fortunately, I don't think that's done anything to take away from the chemistry on screen. So no, it's been great fun, and it's very exciting to see some of the.
I'm really looking forward. I'm actually genuinely looking forward to seeing it, which is weird because normally when you shoot something, I don't know, it's not something I ever want to do. Is see it. Don't you think this is the road?
This is the road.
Shall I take a? It's Sunbury Tire and Exhaust. I need to go. Oh, I'll go straight over. But we could go up there. That's.
Is that what we need to be?
But we can go around this way.
Let's go through Old Shepperton.
Marvellous.
Be said as if it's some sort of salvation.
Let's retread that happy path.
I suppose it could be a sort of cast of Red Dwarf.
We could do.
Doing that.
But I mean, I've seen the scripts that you have to read to do them, and they are quite tedious.
If you don't turn right now, you're a complete and utter goit. That sort of thing, or
Go straight on now.
you gotta go straight on, man. If you don't go straight on, I mean, I don't know, you just look at us. Look at him. He's not going straight on. What's he doing now? He's going there recalculating, man.
Gotta recalculate. It's going to take me 10 minutes. And the cat. Now, you've got to do all of us now, Chris. You can't stop there.
If you don't turn left here, all 6 of my nipples will tingle. I nearly did that right. Nipples, I think I meant to say. But no, your crying would be the best, would he not? Surely.
Oh, he'd be very calm.
Sirs, sir, madam, miss, whoever you are. Oh, you should have turned right there.
Never mind, my fault entirely.
I'll recalculate as I've done for the last... I'm permanently recalculating on this because I talk so much. Gibberish. Nothing to do with the actor who plays me.
So, is that not true? It's so brutal. I hate Doug. I hate him so much because all those things I think it's made me re-aware of it again, that I hadn't thought about for years. That I'll do something at home, I'll do some little movement, and I go, ugh, and it makes me shiver because that's fucking Crichton, that's not me. Like the way I pick up the laundry basket, the fact that I am picking up the laundry basket, the fact that I'm picking it up with quite a lot of joy. I'm quite looking forward to sorting all the...
Crichton is you are becoming Crichton?
Well, I mean, I think I always was, basically.
And then if I became my character, I would just be too...
No, you're right. It's not fair to say that, because that's actually... I remember doing an interview in the States years ago with Craig, where we were going on that riff. Danny's just like the cat, man. He's got loads of clothes. Robert loves ironing. I do love a big curry. And even Craig, to give his due stuff, Chris isn't really like Rimmer.
Nobody could be like him.
Nobody could be like Rimmer, man.
I mean, that's anally retentive, no? But Chris is pretty anally retentive, but he's not that bad.
No, that's not quite like that.
No,
But you do play him exquisitely well.
Yeah. Enough.
Yeah, stop there, sorry.
That's the problem, you see. Everyone says there must be a little bit of you there, Chris.
It's got to be a little smidgen just to be able to do it that well.
Exactly.
This is the joyous centre of...
This is Old Shepperton, isn't it? Yeah.
Do you remember when I used to live up... I showed Craig that the other day. Above the bank there, the NatWest.
In your bed sit.
In my lovely little bed sit.
Learning those lines.
God, wearing the bloody kitchen floor out, trying to learn my long speeches. I like cameramen. They always made me chuckle. I mean, because I love the cameramen that we used to have. We had a sort of one long-running crew, didn't we? Probably for 4 or 5 series on Red Dwarf.
Yeah.
What were they called? Was it Telegenic?
Rocket.
Yeah, Rocket and his posse, wasn't it?
They were a good bunch, weren't they?
And they were great, and they were so helpful, and their discretion I used to love. They'd come, when we'd done a camera rehearsal and when the audience were in, that was that kind of fun to get, and they go, Robert, when you do that line, when you say you're a smee, that one, just stand back about half a pace, so I get Chris, right? They wouldn't make a big deal of it, and you go, of course, fine, sorry.
What they were saying was, Robert, get out
the way, because we need the big close-up. We need the money shot, mate. The big Mr. R is going to be delivering some major pom-pom.
No, they were. Yes, right, guys. That's right. As Daddy would say. Ask Chrissy. Lenny the Lens is a new name for me, isn't it?
Lenny the Lens. I'll just tell them that I'm just bringing Mr. Barrie in for the studio.
There we go.
Hello there. Hello. We're actually just coming and going.
Don't worry, I'll bring the Jag out.
Yes. I'm not the proper car.
I'm not staying.
Don't you start, love. She's going to bring the barrier down on top of me now. Actually, you can go that way, can't we?
Need I say more?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not alone.
I stand totally corrected.
But I didn't guarantee that she would be there. I didn't say to be there.
Listen, I'm going back in with Robert in the crap hybrid. It's a tenner. Slag it off.
But she is a fan of the Jag.
Is she? Oh,
she didn't even like me in a Jeep Cherokee. She was saying, bring your proper car, please.
Oh, you're kidding?
Yeah.
So girls noticed? I didn't know.
Yeah.
Wow. Maybe that could be my whole problem in life, was that I never had those sort of, classy, classic cars.
Be seen in a cool car.
Yeah.
But look, Bob, you're no stranger to them. You had that Volkswagen, which is quite
R32.
quite a cool
But it's
car.
the problem with that was I did really I loved driving that car. I loved being in it and driving it. I hated looking at it when I was outside. So I didn't like the colour. And also, it was a real. I mean, one shouldn't be rude about footballers, but it was, I think, a classic footballer's car, like a.
Those who couldn't afford the Bentley, would practice on one of those.
The next row down. Oh my God! Look, wait, what are they doing? They're moving his.
Yeah.
Jesus. Well, anyway, that's it, Chris. That's brilliant. Thank you so much, because we've got to now watch Russell Crowe's caravans being moved, so we better get out and enjoy it. But thank you very much. That was brilliant fun.
Was that?
Yeah, it was lovely.
I love this program because it's nice, informal start. I didn't even know it had started. Nice informal finish. Yeah, it's been great fun.
You don't worry. We're getting it here.
Yep. No, lots of hand signals.
A lot of hand signals.
Yeah, thank you, Bob. I've enjoyed this immensely. Thank you. Over and out.